Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 291. So, it's been very busy. Chez Penny, there is never a non-busy week, I swear. Nothing really to report, just activity, constant activity and things going on and stuff. So it's just been very busy. There hasn't been a whole lot of time to just sit and chill. And even when I'm trying to sit and chill, generally something else is going on at the same time. So it's like, but I did get my fingers into a ton of projects over the last couple days. I did think of something earlier today I was going to tell you guys, and I totally forgot. I hate when that happens. This is what I get for not writing things down. I have a notebook for a reason, and I need to remember to use it more often. So, thank you so much for stopping by in the unboxing videos. I know it was a lot back to back, but unfortunately, that's just kind of how this month has played out, with the quarterly subscription box, Yarnable, and Row 1 all getting here in a 24-hour period. And then after this, we're going to have back-to-backs with the mid-quarter review and the mid-month review for the year, another year of make-alongs. So unfortunately, we're going to have like this video bookended by a whole bunch of kind of like bookkeeping things. But thank you guys so much for stopping by for the other videos. I do, if you want to know about a super secret project that's only in one video series, go check out the Row 1 unboxing. I will say, as I was editing the Yarnable unboxing video, I did realize why the new yarn this month kept making me think of Prom Queen Serial Killer or Axe Murderer. So go check that out if you are interested. So much fun, so much fun. We will have some January projects show up in the February mid-month, because we did have one lady email late, and we had another one that, so I had technical errors with the January wrap-up video. I was trying a different way of putting everybody's names on their pictures, and for some reason, some of them didn't save, and then apparently at some point, some of the pictures got deleted. So I'm not sure what happened there. So we did have at least one person whose picture did not get saved into the final video, which will be in Saturday's video. So Saturday, Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, guys. I wore my pink. I wore my pinks. It will have a couple extras that are thrown up in there as well. So, oh wow. No super interesting media that we've watched. Yeah, I hate to say it, but like it has been kind of, like I said, it's been busy, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to do this kinds of things. So I guess let's just go ahead and crack on into works in progress. Okie dokie artichoke. So if for some reason this is your first video here at the channel, I am focusing on using what I already have instead of purchasing more. Although I have made a purchase, it's not going to be shared in this video. We'll talk about it some other time, but it was for a specific purpose, to be fair, but I counted it. It's in my notebook. But yeah, I am trying to use what I have because I have a glorious stash. I have curated this stash. This isn't just a whole bunch of stuff that I've, overbought over years. This is now to officially at this point curated. I have combed through every hank and skein here multiple times over the last 5 years. Once before I moved from Charlotte, once when I moved from Charlotte, once when I moved into this house, and then once after I got everything sorted. So 4 times that I can easily come up with where I have literally touched every single hank, skein, cake, ball, scrap, bit of yarn in this room. So this is now officially a curated stash. Now I want to use my curated stash. So I am really focusing on using what was already here instead of purchasing more, which is part of the reason why we have the year of the make-alongs. A lot of those, even though this year it's not obligatory 100%, everything we're doing this year is stash focused on reducing and using and thinking of our stash. Many of the things were inspired about what worked with last year's, as well as what we would continue to still like to see in using our stash. So all that to be said, some things we see this year might be a little weird. Some things we may be combining things a little bit differently. That's what this year is all about. So first thing out of the gate is the bulky yarn I had committed early on this year to using. This is Peyton's Misty. It's been in my stash, I think we said at least 8 years. It might be 10 years at this point. I'm pretty sure it's at least 10 years old. This is the US blend. So this has like mohair, wool, and acrylic, I believe is what this blend is. Oops. My Halloween pin here. I keep, by the way, trying to change the direction of my ring light, hoping to not blow things out. Still can't figure out why it's so bad. Today we do have a sunny day though. Oh yeah, I haven't talked to y'all since it snowed, have I? So we got 7 inches here. Based on what was on the table and everything, we got 7 inches of fall. The first 5 hours of what fell though, we had super, super, super windy weather. So we actually, because it was real snow, not ice, not what we normally call snow, like what northerners get, that fluffy stuff that crunches when you step on it and just is powdery soft. You step down and you just keep going. Yeah. We got that, which we never get here. And yeah, so we have one spot that wasn't hit by the wind, but everything else, because it was so windy, it would like fall and hit, and then we'd get these huge gusts, and you would just see it float across the backyard in the wind like little leaves going around. So yeah, we did get a proper snow. It was phenomenal. It was freezing the next morning. It was 10 degrees. And then we had a wind chill on top of that. So not normal for us. I've commented on a couple of videos like Jenny Lee over at Wyoming Knits. It's like, no, guys, your weather's drunk down here. I was talking to Hooking Island Style this morning about it. It's like, y'all's weather got drunk, made its way into my yard. Do y'all want to come pick it up? Anyway, I don't know why all that made me think of this. I've already lost my train of thought, but comfort cloak, not comfort throw. I have 1.5 balls left to go on this. Apparently I stopped in the middle of a row last time I was working on this, so I can't really try it on for you guys, but we have made a ton of progress. I do have a couple boo-boos. You can tell that there's 4 stitches between each eyelet section, and it's not where I'm missing the eyelet. Somehow I'm decreasing in here, and I'm not sure what's happening. Not decreasing because the eyelet moved. That would just be moving a stitch back and forth. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But it's happened a couple of different spots now, and I'm hoping it's not too completely obvious. But we are, let's see what I can do here. Maybe I can stick my arm down. All right, collar point. No, I don't think this is going to work. Collar point, there we go. So that's about where we are right now. A little bit, sorry about that. You can't hear much if I have my hand over the microphone. So we're right about my elbow. I have another 1.5 balls left. I'm pretty excited. I like that. I like this pattern quite a bit. I do want to come back and redo this. The pattern, by the way, it's like Lisa Jacobs pattern. It's free. I will leave a link down below. But there are directions, I think, for DK worsted and bulky. So this was bulky weight yarn. We do have some mouths going on Ella over at No Catchy Name is doing her Kaleidoscope Mal again this year, and Stash Down Diaries, and her name just Jennifer, I think. She's doing the Elder Stash. So I do intend on entering these in the Elder Stash, but definitely Elder Stash. Amazon glow-in-the-dark skulls came in a kit. I will leave those linked down below. Those will be an affiliate link. Bada bing, bada boom. Not made anymore. If you have it in your stash though, love it. It does, when I've tried it on, it's not itchy. When it's wiggling across my thighs as I'm working on it, sometimes something in it, and I think it's the mohair, will itch me through my leggings. Riddle me how that happens. I have no idea. But it does seem to be happening. I think we're going to have to go with this one next because everything else is underneath it and we're in basket territory here. So this is my shifts shawl. I shared this in my destashing video where we came in and we picked yarn for this and the Pink Panther. So this is where I am. This marker is to help me keep my row count, garter stitch row count. I will add a marker here to show we talked about it. On camera, you can tell that I changed the color here. The Arkansas Yarn Company yarn is very dominant. So I changed from this Knitology Sparkle, which you guys know nothing about, to the Southern Skeins Trick or Treat. Or Trick, not Trick or Treat, Trick. So I came in here, I had picked the original 4 yarns, which were Trick, this one from like I Heart Ruby, and this is a gold shimmer. Here, I'm going to try something real quick. Hold on. So I guess let's give this a shot. So from here, we're getting a little bit more of the underlighting, and you can see kind of a little bit more where my skin sags, but let's give this a whirl and see if maybe this is easy. So this is like called I Heart Ruby, or Ruby Hearts Yarn. Now we're still getting the slow color in. I don't know what to do. This is something that happened, and I'm not sure what's going on. This is the Arkansas Yarn Company yarn. This one I do have the tag here. This is from the Sock Yarn Society, Yummy Sparkle Base, and this is Sunset on Summer. And this Coral from Southern Skeins. So these were the original 4 I pulled for this project. I decided to go into, I have a couple of spots where I have some partials, and I pulled, some of these have been kept separate because I was thinking about putting these in a project together later, like maybe a hexagon shawl kind of deal. Some of these were held to the side just because they're perfect colors for a lot of different things. But I did pull 3 scraps. So this is from Wallflower Gal Fibers. And this is in a multicolor shawl that I did that's a big triangle shawl. And I had it, you know, set aside. This is a Lolo Did It. This is an autumn themed one. And this one is Lolo Did It Sparkle Base. I'll lick the stamps. And I think this one also went into a 2 yarns held together. I think actually all 3 of these were in one of, I made 2. And I think all 3 of these were in those 2 shawls. Well, they only appear in one other shawl, but those 2 shawls happen to both be 2 fingerings held double. I love all these yarns. This wasn't a, I want to get rid of these yarns once again. This is a Koiju that was sent to me by Cheryl Lynn. And I love the combination of this with the Arkansas Yarn Company yarn. These are going to be very dominant. I think. I also pulled this purple, and this purple is ALC. I think this is a partial from one of the big skeins, multi-color skeins I did. This is Late Summer Sunset. This is from September 2024. So I've expanded the combination of colors that will be in here. So this is what the palette now looks like. So even more stash yarns are making an appearance. Instead of cutting these up into 10, she said she did hers like 10 grams to 40 grams, kind of at random in balls. Instead of doing that so I can use the leftovers, I can use the leftovers in the way I prefer to use leftovers. I am doing garter ridge random counts. So line A is this one. Line B is this one. I've already changed line B. That's what that sheepy marker, the yellow sheepy marker, is from. These are from the Simply Sock Yarn Company, their subscription box. I have a pink one, a purple one, and a yellow one. So I've changed the color once, and that is where we are. And so the next color change will actually be the Arkansas Yarn Company yarn will get traded out. And I'm just going to randomly choose one of these other ones. And I might have to slide one of the other changes just because I think we might stack a little close. But we'll see as we get there. But I just did a random number generator. You can see my note for the random number generator was 20 to 100 there. So that is project number 2. All right. Oh, I forgot one of my WIPs. I'm going to have to go downstairs and grab that here shortly. So anyway, I talked to you about my Pink Panther shawl that I had grabbed the yarn for the same time I grabbed for this one. I wish we had gotten further on this. We had so many opportunities to get further along on this one, but unfortunately, I did not finish it like I had projected. Last time you saw it, we were down here. So we've done 1, 2, and equivalent of about 3 and a quarter of the changes. You can see I am now decreasing. So we have hit the 50% point. I did weigh the unique sheep yarn to make sure that I was going to have enough. We do have needle point protectors on this one. I'm calling this my unicorn fluff shawl, and I just happen to have unicorn tip point protectors. These were from a Yarnable, I believe. So this is once again another deep stash. We have ascertained that the pastel sherbet yarn here from the unique sheep, I think it is, on their Verve base is from 2010. The Knit Picks Shadow is also from 2010, and this is like Paisley Heather or something like that. Now it's funny. I've got plenty of bright light up against the camera end, but now everything back here is in shadow, and I'm underlit, and you can see my jolliness. And please understand, everybody, even if you're 20 years old and everything still is tight and firm as the day you were born, you look jolly from an underlit. That's not just me. That's an everybody thing. That's why we do this when we're being creepy, to create shadow. I'm not 20, but I'm not a size 2, but yeah, so we'll talk about these next 3. We can run these down fairly quickly, and then I'll run downstairs, get the other one, and we'll come back for the last WIP before we talk about FOs, because I do have 2 FOs and I'm very excited to tell you about them. So unicorn socks, Simply Sock Yarn Company. Here's the blue sheep. Last time you saw these were way down here. So I'm going to go ahead and move my sheeps up. I have not had much time for walking over the last 2 weeks. These and the dusky stripe socks have been my walking socks. It did take me a little while to get the heels put into these. So I know that doesn't seem like a huge jump, but please bear in mind that was also putting in my heel. So we were right here on the front. We came in, we did the heel, then we did the blue stripe, and then blue stripe all the way up the leg. So more like from here to here is kind of what got worked. So I'm pleased with that. I wish I had had more time for walking. These are Simply Sock Yarn Mystery Club socks. There's a number for them, but this is their splash sock base. I do have to say, I know I never got to do the review I never finished the first one, but I never even unboxed and talked about the second one. 3 balls of sock yarn for what they're charging is actually a fairly decent deal if you like randomized sock colors, but I'm calling these my My Little Pony socks. I've got a blue one that's kind of similar, and I kind of now really want to cast those on too. Dusky socks. We'll talk about those next, actually. So these bad boys just got some heels. I still say these look ginormous. I did cast on the next ones for 72 stitches, not 64 stitches. I still say 72 might be a little wide for his foot, but he does have bigger feet than I think he does. So these are for my husband. This is Premier Simplicity sock, and this is like chocolate or cacao or something like that. And this is, I know it's summer vacation, paint box yarn. Yes, paint box yarn, socks, and summer vacation. I still think it kind of, they're like dusky or Doctor Who-ish kind of 70s vibes. Once again, he says he'll wear them, so I'm going to trust my husband that he will actually wear my wild, crazy striped socks. So I wanted to give him first pass at those. I don't make him a ton of stuff. I think fitted socks you could wear with your normal shoes. I've only made him 1 pair so far. So he's got a couple of pairs of like boot socks around the house, like slippery sock kind of things. But the stuff I make is generally not the stuff he's into. So, and lastly with the socks, I did recast on my stanza socks. So I did not like where the stripes were. I still think, yeah, I've got a little bit of the light purple there, but it does tell you we are like literally on the edge. So I had worked up just a little bit and we were literally back-to-back stripes there. So I did go all the way to the beginning of the light purple and the beginning of the dark purple. So we should be in complete reverse for these socks now. I'm not sure how I missed that was going to be there. When I tighten these down, you won't be able to tell that that's the transition between the dark and the light, but at the same time. But I am working these straight through. As of the toe, I do not believe I am going to do any contrast for these unless I feel like the heel needs a contrast heel. I do have a magenta that I will pull in for these. But once again, we're pulling from all over my stash. This has been in my stash probably about 6 years now, 7 years. I'm pretty sure I had this before we moved to Charlotte, like right before. The paint box yarn in here is from 2019. The Premier yarn is from anywhere from 2016 to 2019 in that zone. I think that was I purchased either at Joann's or Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure that was an in-person purchase. And this is from 2025, so not old. The heel yarn, though, is from 2024. That is Knit Picks Paisley Heather. It's a Knit Pick Stroll. I did forget to talk about that. So I'm just going to set these right here. I'm going to run downstairs and grab the other WIP real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, so up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. This is also kind of the type of weird thing that eats up huge parts of my day. Is I'll sit down to do something and then I have to hop up because I forgot my drink, and then I'll sit back down, get cozy, start getting on a roll, and then I'll get a phone call, and then I'll sit back down. Yeah. By the way, if you can hear me mouth breathing, I still have a lot of sinus closure because of the up and down weather. Speaking of up and down. My project, Granny Square project thing here. So I do have weeks 5 and 6. I had to run down and grab week 6. I am such a dingbat. I'll be honest. I am a dingbat, but week 5, we have purple and brown, brown and blue, blue and pink, pink and green, green and gray. And because I'm a dingbat, brown and pink. So I went to go do week 6. I'd done the first 2, was doing this just off my brain, not paying attention. We just had a crash downstairs. Yeah. Cats are chasing. There's a squirrel that keeps jumping up on the windowsills and giving them the business. So anyway, I wasn't paying attention. I forgot these were supposed to be solids. So we have an extra. I mean, it's not going to hurt at the end of the day. Like I said, I don't necessarily have to have a certain amount any week. I do want to have 4 or 5. I need like 110, 112 to do a blanket. So if I have enough to do 2 blankets at the end of the year, that's kind of my goal. There are 50 cards in the deck. So these are based on the Claire Montgomery regular Granny Square deck. You get cards like these, and then on the back, you have the graph. I mean, not that I'm really sharing anything, but I mean, we kind of all basically know how to make a granny square and a solid granny square here. But I'm having fun with this. So yes, they are basic granny squares, but it does kind of give me a different form and formula to follow in order to get some donation blankets out. For week 6 so far, I only have 4 squares because I'm a dingbat. So we have brown and pink. We have this mousy gray, brown, and blue. Mousy gray, brown, and blue. And purple and pink. The other one, I believe, is flat gray, not mousy gray, and green. And then this one also needs his ends woven in. So, week 5 and 6 down, 7 on deck. And that one is a 50-50 square. So we're getting a little different. I am going to go through what I have for the knitting machine stuff pulled over there. And what I know, like, got kicked back from the Addy. That's definitely not going to go through my flatbed machine. My flatbed machine is a mid-gauge, so it only does, like, sport DK really, really well. It will do some heavier fingering and some lighter size 4s, but really that 2-3 middle ground is where it does its best work. So I'm going to go look at what didn't go through the Addy because it was too stiff or too chunky. And I'm going to add that to the To Be Granny Squares box. And I'm going to make a box. And I'm just going to take it downstairs and keep throwing stuff in it. I have a small tote where I'm keeping, like, my colorful scraps that I had for my gray Granny Square starter project. I'm going to keep those together, but I need to start getting some of these other things in rotation. So we're not just doing like 5 colors of granny squares here. I want to get the variety really going through, even though I don't want to pull from the basket for the sweater yet. So anyway, that's one of the 9,673,000 things I still have left to do. All right. We have 2 finished objects, so I will be right back with those. Okie dokie artichoke. So we're going to go from least exciting to most exciting. I do have my first finished object from the knitting machine. However, I have not had an opportunity to block it. So this is going to be very hard to show you, but we have a scarf. I forgot to do the no roll brim or no roll edge on this. So even though I did a 2-row single crochet edging, it did roll on me. Once I steam this will lay out perfectly fine, but it is a triangle shape. Here, I'm gonna do this, but then I can't talk. Upside down. No. I mean, you can tell it gets wider for a period of time. It does. I did do a flat section across the back. So that's how it stays flat there. And then it, there we go, decreases there. But I need to pin this out. I did not have an opportunity to do that. Truthfully, I just didn't have it in me to crawl around on the floor, but same difference. Same difference. Yeah, so I did get this done. This is using Bernat Baby Sport, and this went through the machine like a dream. I did have some boogers in the yarn that went through the machine before I caught them. So I will probably run a piece of thread through those so those don't unravel. I don't mind having, I'm going to keep this because this is my first finished object off the machine. I'm not going to not wear this because there are boogers on the back, but it's a scarf. I mean, all of us in our first couple things have issues. I could theoretically unpick the boogers, tighten the stitches back down, and weave in the ends if there's enough end to weave in. And that's what I'm worried about. I don't know if there's going to be enough end to weave in when I pick out the boogers, but for some reason, my bangs this morning, I'm going to show you all this because it's hilarious. If you see that the root here is going straight up and then bending. So that's why they're creasing, but they're not really parting. And it's driving me bananas because I can feel it. It's not even just how it looks. I can feel it bouncing on my forehead because that's going straight up. It's bouncing instead of laying like this, and then we'll just kind of shift across my brow. Oh yeah, and in the last 2 weeks I got my hair trimmed too. It's just a little trim up though. I finished my dewdrop shawl, you guys. So this is where we were last time. No, this is where we were when we started Project UFO this year. This is where I had left off. Last time y'all saw it, it was up here. I thought I did a marker, but apparently not. It was like, or no, that's right. I had started the trim 2 weeks ago. I did not put a marker there, but we finished the trim. We even have it blocked. I have not woven in the ends. I just left it up here after I blocked it. But you can see how beautiful everything lays. And this is just squishy stunningness. Squishy stunningness. This is Fiber Studio out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Smitten base. And it's like merino, nylon, and cashmere. Valentine's Day is in 2 days from you guys seeing this. So I've got it in time for Valentine's Day. And then I'll turn around and I may wear it. I may wear it to Mass this weekend. But I plan on at least having it to wear to Ash Wednesday. So I'm so excited. I have my Valentine's Day shawl done from 2 years ago. So this was a project kit from their Bellwether Club from 2024. So I did that January, February, and March. This was February's yarn. For that one, it was industrial for January, this for February, and then we got the copper penny minis for March. I just love it so much. And it just blocked out so nice. So beautiful. So now I have to weave in the ends, but it's done. And it's such a great pattern. The pattern's from Woolen Berries. Once again, all patterns that I've mentioned, anything that I've shown you that I think you can buy, I'll leave a link down below. Maybe affiliate, maybe not, but I'll leave a link down below for you. But I'm so excited. It's just so pretty. And look at how perfectly my edges meet. I have pictures of it blocking. I was so good. I put it in the bowl of water. I let it soak for 20 minutes, spun it out in the salad spinner, and immediately brought it up here to block. I didn't do the like, oh, well, we'll block it in like a day or two. No. I immediately soaked it, immediately brought it up here to block. I didn't leave it for, oh, I'll do it after lunch. I'll do it after dinner. I'll do it when I wake up in the morning. It was immediate. And then it laid out so perfect. It's actually oversized to the measurements because the yarn is so light. It wanted to lay out larger. So I was able to actually block this larger than the measurements call for as the shawl relaxes, because it's humid here. The blocking will relax over time before I have to wash it and block it again. It will kind of shrink more towards the original measurements, but in the pattern, they give you a diagram for blocking it, and it gives you the perfect measurements for everything if you use a slightly thicker fingering weight yarn. But again, if you want a larger shawl, just a neatly pluffier, larger shawl, you can use another weight yarn for this. This would be beautiful in a heavier yarn. You're going to have to block that too. Just get that lace work open. Really let that lace work shine. So that's what I've got. That's what I've got for you guys. I am so excited. Anyhoo, you guys, I love you. I hope you are having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Please stay tuned for the pet tax. I do have 2 weeks of cat pictures to give you. So we even have some very special pictures of the boys hanging out together. So I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.